Wow, I just really just went live without checking anything. Hold on. Mic is working. I don't know if I'm like not loud enough. Maybe I'll increase the volume here. And then background music, which technically we don't need. But alas, here we are. Little lo-fi, chill time. And then gotta make an announcement here, obviously. Man, last session, I need to think about how to fix this because I've been struggling with crashes these days. It might just be that I need to retire my laptop for streaming at least. Live now, Twitch. And once again, little quick insert. There's a merch available in the merch shop called 99% Burnt Out. That is for you, everyone. We're all burnt out. Yep, here we are. Okay. Let's see. I was working on my first 3D game yesterday, which actually wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that crazy. It didn't seem like it took very much different. Like it wasn't that different from 2D. The only thing was that you're now working with 3D models instead of 2D space, which I'm like, whatever. Terabyte Game says, hi, hello, Terabyte, welcome, 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 young and old, everyone. Yalv says, yo, it's been a while. How you doing? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. It's been busy, you know, between releasing my new merch. If you're on YouTube, there should be a merch at the bottom where it says 99% burnt out or something. I think there's like a shopping link. That's my merch. Been developing. We put a little pause on our main games because we have multiples. I've been like stacking up all these videos. And lastly, I am reflecting back for year 2025. Right, that's right. I almost said 2024, living in the past, and kind of looking into what we have done so far in this year. A lot of toolings, a lot of crisscross of code and all those things, but there's no one unified space for all those things. So I probably will have to make a Uber template that I can use myself as well as people. Yell says, congrats, dude. Best of luck. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. It would be cool if we have some sort of like easy implementation of template blueprint, if I may. Of course, that means I'm going to make add-ons folder. I'm going to start dragging in everything that I can remember. And we'll see. We'll go from there. We'll try to be a little bit productive here. I got a lot of script to write. Don't tell anyone I said this, but currently I'm working on a course for kind of like the beginner to intermediary developers or indie game devs to be paid course for like guiding them through with like one-on-one sessions and like classroom like weekly group sessions for Q&As to help people launch their game. And so that's also been consuming my life a little bit. Between that and streaming and content making, I can do it. It's just a lot of time, you know? But yeah, I'm excited to see what people think, how many people out there are interested in it. I know most of us who are on stream doesn't really need that kind of class because you guys are here because you guys are already very familiar with game development and you're just kind of here for the chat and co-working. But yeah, that's why I'm speaking about this very freely with you. Okay, so a few things here. I gotta make sure I copy over my dialogue plugin. I gotta do some copying here. dialogue plugin. Just copy the easy dialogue. My most thorough plugin out there, I think. Though it still requires a little bit of cleanup, but it's okay. We can manage. Oh, I gotta spawn my little strawberry. But yeah, hope everyone's having a great day so far. We're living it. We're living it and doing it. Okay, we got our easy dialogue. Plug in. Turn it on. Bam. We got that going. Seems like it's integrated okay with 4.5, so we're cool here. Daniel says, as indie developer, what are your thoughts on multiplayer games? Are they a lot of headaches or worth it? It is a lot of headache. I do think it's worth it. You know why I say that? Because as a player myself, I just feel like there is not enough fun multiplayer game to play with friends of various skill level. So we could always have more. The problem with multiplayer game is that, okay, here's the thing. Two different things. I do like playing multiplayer games that are competitive, that doesn't require, or like just kind of fun, that doesn't require you to know anyone. You don't have to play with anyone you already know. You're going there to play with the world. That feels different from being like, hey, dude, have you heard about this game? I want to play this with you. Like, that has different feeling. And also, in that same vein, couch co-op. I feel like there's so many games that could be made that's missing that is a couch co-op, where you're not fighting each other against each other, but you're working together to do things. I think that's really good. So I do think that it's worth it, in that there's a market. There's a huge market for it, I think. But it is technically difficult. It is very technically difficult because you start thinking about, network syncing, multiple controls, race conditions and all those things. But I do think that if you're thinking about multiplayer as just local multiplayer, maybe that's like an easier approach than trying to make it online. That's a possibility. Some people might be like, what's the point of making a game that doesn't have single player mode? Yeah, I get it. So that's my answer. I know, very long answer. I didn't give you any answer, basically. I didn't say yes or no. I just said a bunch of words, and I was like, yeah, pick through these words and figure out what's useful to you. Terabyte says multiplayer is a headache. Yes, it is a headache. It is a headache. There's no doubt about that. It is far worse to work on multiplayer than any other type of game that is not multiplayer. Especially if you start thinking about server, the syncing, the whew. Boy, oh boy, it's a topic of its own. But you will make money, I guess, if you do it right. Okay, so I brought some of my other plugins, which doesn't really require installing. It's just a library. I suppose the libraries shouldn't be considered add-ons? Oh, I don't know. It's a little messy. Finite state machine, maybe? Because that one comes with the state machine reader. Behavior tree as well, actually. Okay. And then GeoAP is its own thing. Wow, look at this. We're starting to get a pretty good collection of things here. Too bad you can't have dependencies, like a library dependencies like NPM packages, because currently I'm treating each of these quote-unquote add-ons as a NPM package, essentially, in a Node.js world. Daniel says, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Terabyte says, I tried it once and it made me hate game dev for some time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, also, like, it's hard. Like, there's also a general, like, marketability. Because if you're doing multiplayer, if you're indie game that doesn't have a huge crowd, almost always you have to go for peer-to-peer network. because if you have a dedicated server network instead of peer-to-peer, or like allow people to have dedicated network and then you don't host it yourself, that is a huge barrier to entry for a lot of people for your game too. So it is a bit of a headache. I do feel like the network game has really like big potential, but I really think for as indie game devs, I would say focus on couch more than anything. It also costs more to make network game, in my opinion. Unless it's not a serious game. Which, I mean, power to you. Okay, so we got easy dialogue. We got all these component thing. The component is character body movement component, which is okay. I'm going to have to probably formalize how to use those things. We got the dialogue. All right. And then I had the deck builder plugin. Oh man, this is going to be the super package that I fork every time I make a new project. There's a chance that it'll fail catastrophically if I know how to pronounce those words. I feel like my English pronunciations has gotten worse since college. And maybe because I'm just talking to myself now, which is a weird thing to say, but here we are. But yeah, Terabyte, I'm sorry that you ended up hating game development due to networking. Networking is not fun at all. But it is kind of like satisfying to understand it. It does open up, once you learn it, it opens up a lot of options for you and yourself. AKA, like, you start to understand how the server logic works, which means you get to develop your own server logic for other games. You can mess with that because you understand networking. Kinda. Not really. And then here's my dungeon generators. Man, look at all these things. Not quite complete, but I'll still copy and paste over here. Should they be separate files? I'll call this library here. Dungeon library. Or should I call it lowercase? Dungeon gen lib. Or I just call it dungeon gen, I suppose. And then open this. And we have all our miscellaneous stuff. Boom. Wow, so many toolings. The question is, are they useful at all? That's the question. It's okay. We'll figure it out. No testing, that's for sure. Which kind of sucks. But it's okay. We got Drunkard's Walk. We got Delaunay's Triangulation here. Cellular Automata. These are all organic shapings, and this is a split. We got some AI stuff, and then the finite state machine, along with the dialogue plugin, which allows us to write scripted language of controlling flows. What's missing out here? My deck builder plugin is still missing. So let's go over here and see our deck builder plugin. Man, I actually wrote a lot of stuff, huh? A lot of quote-unquote tools. Ridiculous coding. What is that? Oh, that was the add-on I added. Okay. And then I made a shader too, didn't I? I think the card shader probably should live in here. The shader collection I made. I probably will copy the card shader as well. Okay, I'll remember to do that. So this one, the Easy Deck Builder, it's hard to call it a plugin, but for now I'll do that. So we'll paste this. The year in review, everyone. The year in review. I get to see everything I made. Every tooling I made. Has it been worth it? You know? Do we get our speed gain from it? Oh man. I'm starting to ask questions that are like questioning my sanity. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna paste this. Hey Tony, welcome. Hi. We're just getting started. We have a lot of stuff here. We may be able to make anything we want with this. Everything and anything. Now that we have a template, let me try to copy those projects out. Make a duplicate of the project for a new project. Anytime I want to do a new project, I go boop. There's also some pathfinding stuff that I probably should copy paste though as well. I don't know if I want to generalize it. There's a star, so duplicate. Okay, we're gonna make easy template copy. How about this? I want to make. Ooh, you know what's popular right now? Dispatch, right? I mean, there's Dispatch. The game has like these like narrative choice mode with QuickTime event plus decision, dialogue decision, with the game mode in between, which is not as important. So I'm gonna do something here. We'll say that I think that is in the realm of a visual novel, honestly, or narrative games. Tony says, just got my laptop repaired yesterday and don't remember how most of the code that I wrote works anymore. I know the feel. Blue Fox says, hi, Ezra, I just got out of school. What are we doing? We are doing year in review. That is to say, I'm collecting all the tools and studies I have done this year and making it into a single package, single template. And I'm going to try, I just did that. I just copied over everything, basically. And then now I'm going to go ahead and try to make different games out of it to see where the gaps are. And we're going to go from very beginning, or like very easiest thing to not as easy stuff. And I'm only going to add things if it's necessary. So we have the Uber template, but we go, okay, what if we were making a, I don't know, visual novel type? What would that template look like, right? So, visual novel template test, or let's call it template. So we'll go through every genre and hit up what's going on with this and how these templates could be useful. Because eventually I need to hit up everything, right? And because this is just like a proof of concept for the game demos, I don't really need to use my own asset. I wouldn't be against using like AI to generate some quick like videos to use as an example for these like dispatch like game sample, because nobody's gonna actually play it. I'm not launching this to sell it, you know. So ethically, I think I'm not too worried about that either. So instead of under Godot project, I'll create a new folder here called Godot templates. And I'm going to select this, create a new folder called visual novel template. We're going to duplicate this and see how this works out here. We're going to do some basic design exercise. Oh, parsing error. We're already getting some errors out here. It's probably because some of these things share a class name. There's multiple versions of min heap out here. Oop, Conic says today. That's not what that is. I haven't updated my bot. Sorry, Conic. I will update that right now, but I will also tell you. A year in review, we're going through all the toolings and coding studies that we've done in different projects across multiple projects and videos, and putting them together as a single template and going through each genre of games, simplest to most complex, to see if it requires more, like to fill the gap, basically. Making Uber. Oh, that's well, Uber Godot template for easy game making by collecting all the stuff we've been working on throughout the year. Hey, Tony's the first. Nice claim, everyone. Yes, it has been a while, Tony. Or Conic. I've been away. I've been busy. Few things are here. As I said, we got new merch that got launched. Go check it out. The landing page, I don't know how to get rid of it. It's not as relevant. But look, 99% burnt out. We got a little long tee. We got various beanie with 99% logo. Little burnt out text. Beach hat with various colors. We got t-shirts here. We got crop tees here. Very cute, very cute. We got the faded embroidered hat and t-shirts. Look at all our merch. Go check it out. This helps me. So, and you get something to wear. Okay, so I knew this was going to happen because I do use my specific min heap implementation everywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a utility folder. Utility. And then utility is going to have the min heap logic in there, where I'm going to probably path this out. And whenever I see min heap anywhere else, I'm going to get rid of it here because it's not required. This is all we need. Boom. Let's reload the project and see what happens with that. Tony says 99% burnt peanut. That's what we need. We need burnt peanuts. Okay. We got the min heap here. What other data structures are there that we need to use? We probably need to do some tree. I don't think there is a native implementation of tree in Godot or GD script, right? That's probably something we need to figure out eventually. All right. We got some add-on, project setting, plugin, return everything on. Everything. Oh. Due to code error. Code error? Ooh. Interesting. Hold up. I'm gonna have to go look at it. Easy dialogue GD4. It's freaking out. .gd line 4. Main panel. Because I renamed this. We're gonna have to change this so that it's no longer a preload of a relevant path. It should be a unique ID path. Fix. Main panel.gd21. This one also is struggling here. Dialog graph node prefab is dialog graph node scene, which will just be boop, preload version of that. Okay, that's fixed, I think. And this one is going to yell at me because it's like, I can't do that. The pathing is different, of course. Easy deck builder, line 5 here, of course, is the add-ons. Easy deck builder, blah, blah, blah. That one is also going to be, was it the hand.gd? Boom. And then this one is going to be hand icon PNG. I need to learn how to make a vector icon file. Hey, yo, bot. Band. Big band hammer right there. It does seem like I am missing a huge part that is networking related stuff, but it's okay. So, visual novels. Easy. Nothing crazy here. I think what we need to do for visual novels is just be able to write the visual novel via the easy dialogue only. So for example, we could be like, hey, main scene is where it starts, right? And this is going to be where the game starts. And then I want this script to basically have an export that is like start dialogue, right? Which takes in a dialogue JSON file, which is created by this. So it could be like, instead of folder, I guess I could just go save this as start or title. Call it title, like so. And then I say start here, and I could have something like boop, start game, exit. And then this will go to like start sequence, and then exit sequence, for example. And then say start sequence is gonna have something, and then exit sequence is going to have something probably. Sequence. Did I misspell this? Oh, there it is. So this prompts something, blah, blah, blah. Boom. That's our main thing. Now, what I do hate about this one always gets me. The file filter doesn't show any JSON file that was created within the project for some reason until you open it. I don't know why it does that. Like if you open it, I think, and then you reload. Hey, Silent Noob. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just chilling out here. We're making templates. We're making year in review. Main.gd. Okay. Ah, right. Class name. Main. Something like that. And then that allows me to just drag and drop the title JSON in here, and then we can do something with it. Cool. Very simple. This one, only thing it requires is the dialogue reader. It doesn't even have to do that one. I could just go boop. Easy dialogue here, and this is the reader with a bunch of signals, and we can handle that however we need to. Visual novel is just background image, some sprite positioning, right? And I suppose I do feel like people need to be able to set up their scenes. Like how much do you handhold in terms of templatizing, right? So okay, here's an example of what I mean. Because you could be like, oh, I can make it so that people could be like, hello there. And then I could be like, oh, show character portrait. And then a scene is schoolyard or something like that, right? And then this would be like, oh my gosh, this is so easy for people who don't know what they're doing. But then this is like something that you need to allow people to change. So I feel like I don't want to do that. I actually want to have people be used to setting up scenes on Godot itself. I'm not like completely removing Godot from the cycle of development, right? So I want to do something simple here. So we could say schoolyard. Actually, hold on. Let's think about this. Sample game. We'll make a sample game where it's you make decisions and then you gain favor, a love. You get friendly with friendlier. Your goal is to get close to different characters in the game, right? For example, I don't even know what kind of things you would say to it. The game is naturally going to be complicated. I don't know. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The system is up to people to figure that out. I suppose dialog box plugin would be useful if it was built in. So I could make a dialog box. And we got to make sure that's part of the what do you call packages or add-on. We'll go and add that later. Dialog box. Now let's make a scene here. We've done this thousands of times. So we want to make sure we get through this properly. We want the dialog box to be control. Not only a control, I think we want this to be actually a panel. Potentially. Though I guess there's a box portion and then there's a portrait portion. So dialog box, should it come with the option to do portrait? No, it shouldn't. It should just only handle the text itself. So we'll make this into a panel container or panel. And both of them uses style box. It's not going to be a pop-up window. So I think it's more like a panel container. Honestly, I feel like your coding skills are pretty sophisticated. How does one get to that level? I feel like when you want to implement an idea, I can usually eventually actualize it with basic keywords in Godot, but it's usually not optimal or concise at all. Experience, I guess. Let's see. Can you give me an example of what you're feeling when you see me do things? What is it that I do that you feel like, how did you do that? Then I can get a little bit more specific, because I can speak on it very like generally, which is, yeah, it's just experience, trial and error. And if let's say I made something in like you did, you said it's not optimal or concise. That's part of the process. So I do make things in a non-optimal or concise way. And then somebody either tells me or I find something that I've already done by someone else. And I say, oh my gosh, that's so much smarter than I do it. I also read a lot in terms of just kind of searching in general best practices, programming patterns, what people do. It's just kind of ever expanding library, so to speak. And then eventually you build out your vocabulary, I suppose. Oh, you know what is the best way to do it though? Best way to do it, best way to grow that skill, the critical thinking slash like flexibility in problem solving, is to continuously solve problems that you don't know the answers to. Stop doing, and that's my problem. I never do things that I already know how to do, right? I mean, I rarely do that. My new challenge is always like next new thing. It helps me expand my like flexibility, but you know, it comes with its downside, as you know. This is simple enough. I think providing this as a root, people can be like, oh, I can just change my dialog box by changing the style box down here. Awesome. They know how to do that. And then they can just use that. I can trust that that is something that works. And then for text, I actually want the rich text label because it allows me to do a BB code thing, which has like colors and all those things, which I'm not 100% familiar with. I haven't really done it, but it has its own issue. Parsing BB code versus the text. But let's see. I do want to look into how it works. Let's see, rich text label Godot. Let's look at all these features and see if we can get familiar with it. Okay. Right. You can do formatting, you can do different fonts, even color. Default color, theme property, BB code. I want to look at using BB code itself. Take priority over the horizontal alignment. Rich text label with BB code demo. BB code in rich text label. By default, rich text label function like a normal label. It has a property text. After that, you can edit the text properly. You can edit the text property using available tags. I just need to know where all the available tags are. I mean, this is very cool. Like, for example, if I do this one, like so. Boom. Look at that. We can do RGB thing. How do we know? Okay, handling user input safely. In a scenario where you may freely input text, such as chat in the multiplayer game, you should make sure user cannot use arbitrary BB code text that will be parsed by a rich. This is to avoid inappropriate use of it. Well, this is for user, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to really sanitize it at all. Ooh. Okay, so this is like by pushing tags. If you don't want to use BB code for performance reasons, you can use functions provided by rich text label to create formatting tags without writing BB code in the text. I see. So you can programmatically insert tags. Interesting. But also there's a reference here. You know what? BB code enable doesn't sound too crazy. I'll enable it here for the rich text label, which will be the text label. And I'm gonna have this, you know, just do whatever, because I think you can also do like alignment, like center, for example, or left, or right. So I think it being a full rect is okay. I wonder if there's a default alignment. Horizontal alignment. Okay, so I could just go like this if I need to. But what if I override it? I see. So it does, you can ignore it. Test. What happens if I do it here? Cool. I see. Cool. Okay. Very functional, very functional. All right, that's the text label. And then we can say blah, 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 blah. And then we have this display text thing, right? Where it goes like this. And then we can have, instead of using ratio, we can use the visible character count. So those are all those options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build in text progression as part of the dialog box function, because that's everybody wants it, right? So a few things we want. Attach script for the dialog box. Dialog box here. Nika says, hey, what's the plan today? Today is year in review. We have been developing a lot of tools and plugins and template type stuff, a lot of different genres for videos and projects and etc. We're putting everything together into a single template because I'm planning on launching a little beginner to hero, 0 to hero courses for people with little, like a beginning to intermediate skill level to learn Godot and make game and launch. And as part of that process, I'm planning on sharing and giving access to the blueprint and using the blueprint to guide them to make the games that they want, along with like one-on-one sessions and stuff like that. So I have a plan for launching a product. So as part of that preparation, I'm trying to make this like really enticing resource that people can use. Then part of using that resource people can use is that I need to be able to make every type of genre with it, from what I can tell, most of them at least. And so I'm trying to figure out if there is gap or not. So today, right now, we're working on a visual novel template. Visual novel all the way from Doki Doki Literature Club to Hatoful Boyfriend to Dispatch, which is a more recent favor. You know what I noticed? I don't have my phone with me. I need to go get my phone just in case somebody's messaging me. Let me mute myself and I'll be back. I'm back. What's going on here? Electro Giant. What? Mega Knight. Wait, what? What's going on? Why do you look like you would be Toru Iwatane's son? Toru Iwatani? Who is that? With the name like Troll, I guess I shouldn't really pay too much attention to you. All right. Toru Iwatani is the creator of Pac-Man. Oh, I see. Well, I don't know. Maybe we share blood or something. That's possible. Who knows? Okay. So dialog box, few things here. Dialog box always requires, I guess, the whole like the speed thing. Right. Okay. So remember I was like, oh, we want it so that blah 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 happens, right? And we want to use this display text option to display the text. But the thing is, the reality is, I want people probably want to do something like slow, and then say, this is a slow text versus fast, and then say this is fast text, right? And they want to be able to start it and then it'll obey those tags, because you might want to do those like different controls within the line itself, within the box itself, right? Troll says, trust me, I'm not a troll. My name is like that because I like troll facing. I feel like you've done some disservice to yourself by naming yourself that, where people immediately have a hard time trusting you. I'm sorry. Anyways, so that's what I want to do. That means I want to be able to like have the box itself intake text, right? Or I guess it could be dialog text, and that could be a string, and then the hint for this export is probably export multi-line. Right. And I want to be able to take in the speed as part of the command or property. Let me think about this. So two angles I'm thinking of. If I say, hey, here's an export variable called line or reveal velocity, or reveal speed, which is letter per second, for example. And I say, hey, show 10 letter per second. And then in the middle of revealing it, I can change it, for example. That will change the pacing. But how do we know at which part of the dialogue revelation we're in, right? If I'm using this dialog box for that purpose, like if I'm like, oh, I want to do it so that it does this thing where it is fast for a certain section and slow for a certain section. If I only control this based on this only, it'll be really hard to do an interaction between, okay, well, user needs ways to detect at what part of the line they are in order to do it. It's a lot easier to just insert dialogue with the command itself. So what I think I'm going to do here is probably something where you could preset configuration for tags. So for example, I could be like speed text speed tag, which will be a dictionary of string to float, right? And by default, we might have something like slow is, I don't know, where 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Well, let's say one per second We'll do very slow, slow, medium, and very fast, or whatever. Very slow, slow, normal, fast, and then have very fast, for example. It could be like 0.51. Normal could be like 1 Mississippi. 1 Mississippi. Okay, so I have like 5 letters here. Slow is like 2. Fast is like 8. And very fast is like 12, for example. Nika says, if a game has 5 different art style and different art style for each level or chapter, would that affect game size immensely? Game size? Like the file size? Well, the different art style doesn't impact the size of the game. The fact that there is difference doesn't contribute to the size of the game, I don't think. Not really sure what the question is specifically, but it is my intuition that it probably doesn't. Whoops. I mean, whatever is the biggest, largest style will probably the upper bound of how big it can be. You know? It'll feel very odd. But you know what? Do you remember Inscription, the game? It's like a deck builder game. Inscription. Well, spoiler alert. This game is kind of like that. If you play it, you would know. Oh, you mean like because you have to have 5 different models? I don't think it's that much bigger. It's like having 5 different assets. That's not... Like, it doesn't add so much more significant space, right? I think. It really depends on your implementation. But think about it. Think about it this way. If your game is 5 chapters long, you need assets for each chapter anyways, even if it's consistent style. But if the style changes on each chapter, you know, you're just maybe a little bit bigger, but, you know, not that much. Now, it'll be more work, I think. But, you know, seems like that's a different question. So we have that. We'll call this very fast here, like that. So, got that. And that's how it's going to do it. Normal will be the default. So that means on process, we could do it in the process or timer. I don't know what's more. Timer signals out and signal gets emitted. Process will run every loop and see if it should run. I feel like process is more consistent than timer. Is it? I mean, I'm old school like that, where I feel like I should calculate the delta and then do that instead of using the timer. But using a timer is simple, right? Where it's like reveal timer, and then the reveal timer could have on ready here like this. And then we can be like, hey, whenever reveal timer times out, we're going to do something here. And then basically when it times out based on what the current speed is, speed. And then we can have export var default speed like that. Right now it's going to be normal. It's not even enum, which is its own issue, but that's my issue, I guess. And func ready, we're say on text speed on ready will be default speed, which will be get default speed tag, I guess I should call it. And then otherwise it's going to be just 5 here if it doesn't exist. And then we're going to use that. On reveal, we're basically going to be like, hey, the text label. We're going to say display. What was it? It was called display text visible character, right? It's going to go from visible characters will equal to one letter here, like so. And basically when the yeah. Oops. Like so. So we save the current speed tag to be the default speed tag. And when the speed tag changes, we're going to change the timer information. So we're going to say func update text reveal timer. And we're going to update it by text speed, which will be float. And we're going to flip it because we're trying to figure out, I want to adjust the time. I want to adjust the wait time so that after a wait time, single text is revealed or single letter is revealed, which is something I don't like to do. That's why I like to do process, but because for example, this is the difference. I can get it to be like 0.001. Let's say that's the smallest it goes. So I say one letter per 0.001 versus I can make it update slower. I can make it like 0.005 second and then reveal 5 letters at a time instead of trying to adjust it infinitely small. You know, it's a matter of like update per second, like FPS matters. And putting this update under the process is essentially working off of FPS. I feel like I like that better. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sync to an FPS here. So the current speed tag will be updated to be default speed tag. And then instead of using the timer, we're going to have different helper variables here. Time since last text reveal will be 0. Yes. And that'll be float, I think. And then under the process, we're going to say if time since last text reveal is more than a reveal period, meaning it's the inverse of the frequency. So we're going to say time since last text revealed will be delta here. And then var letter per second. Instead of letter per second, I'm going to say seconds per letter, meaning how many seconds does it take for a single letter. That will be determined by text speed. Get the current speed tag, and default value is 0.5 seconds. And then we're going to inverse that. So inverse of this will give me this many seconds equate to a single letter, right? So that means if we divide the time since last text reveal by this many seconds, right? There's a second divided by second. I think the delta is second, right? Delta is a time in between frame and seconds, right? So if we divide the time since last update by the number of seconds it takes for each letter, you get the number of letters to reveal. And we need to floor I this real quick. Right, this will get number of letters to reveal. Very specific naming. I don't know. Some people may say this is a terrible naming convention, and some people may say this is an amazing naming convention, but, you know, to be shown once again. Okay. So this one, is it getting a warning? No. Okay. And basically, if the number we need to reveal, right? If the letter number that we need to reveal is greater than 0, meaning there are some letters to reveal, then we want to reveal that amount from the text label. So we go say text label, display text, or call, is it or visible characters will equal to this, up till the max number of string we need. Until it reaches and there's no more to reveal. Let's see. And at the end of the day, once it reveals time since last text reveal will equal to itself minus this times the period. Right, so it's whatever is remaining will be here. So it's minus equals actually. Like so. No comments needed. I think it's very self-explanatory, right? I think so. Hey, Denimal, long time no see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're making templates. We're just coding out here. We're making every genre of game possible a template that makes all those things easier. At least the basic ones. So I'm going through visual novel, probably top-down action, platforming action. I mean, that's it. And then the tactics, right? Isometric tactics. Those are 4 type of games, right? Is there more? For 2D at least. Unless somebody goes, I need 3D. I'm like, I can't help you in 3D right now. Let's focus on 2D. Okay. Let's see. Oops. So we don't need this timer thing. What do we have? Number of letters to reveal times seconds per letter. We updated this to be whatever it needs to be. Right. We're going to be emitting. We need signal here. Signal. Text reveal finished, meaning all the text has been revealed. Emits when the text reveal animation is complete and all the letters of the desired of the dialogue has been revealed. I suppose I could do like this. This will be emitted. That also means we need a state for this dialog box to be like, hey, currently it's in this state, which is to say, and dialog box only goes through revealed, revealing. Was either revealing or finished, right? I think. Yeah. Which doesn't really need a state. It could, I guess you could have a function, a public function that goes something like func is playing or animation. Or yeah, playing could be revealing maybe, which is a boolean. And this is basically saying returns true if the dialog box is in the middle of revealing dialogue, middle of playing dialogue animations. False otherwise, meaning it's done, which will be based on the letter versus the reveal, I guess. So we have speed tag text label here, text label dot text, the size, humanize. Oh, I guess so. Oh, you know what? Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. Let me see. Test color equals green. Hello. Hi, Cooley. Long time no see. I want to see this. Okay. Because technically, this is part of the dialogue. I want to see if it counts those. Oh, it counts tag as... No, that's just space. Interesting. Cooley says, holidays and work got me busy AF. Hope you've all been well. I think all of us are doing okay. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot. Difa says, do you miss Google? I don't actually. You know, Google, Amazon, whatever big tech company. Okay, well, I'll say this. I do miss having a lot of expendable money without worrying about where my next meal is coming from, which I don't really have that concern right now. But, you know, it is a nice feeling to not have to worry about those things. I guess it's the difference between having a job and not having a job. Given that currently my job is this, just streaming and making games and, you know, making contents, which is vastly different uh, financially situation. However, I don't miss working in a corporate world at all, as long as I'm not hungry. So the desperation right now is the desperation of a typical entrepreneur, which is, let's make this machine work, the machine of making money. But, you know, otherwise everything else is great. So can't complain. Okay, it seems like the visible character does ignore tags, which is also, I don't know how I'm going to check if all the character has been revealed, all the available characters have been revealed. Cooley says, what are you working on, by the way? All right, here's our today's tag. I did a today command. Template, in short. Humanized size must be the size of whatever that was. We're gonna say humanized size, and then say, hey, it's still revealing if the humanized size of the text label is greater than the characters, visible characters. Yeah, size. This is, oh, why is this? Oh, that's not what it were. Text dot length, I guess. I need this to be hold on. Length. Characters. I need to know if there's like ways to directly get the size. I don't think this is the size of the thing. This is the size of the box. How do I check if the visible characters are full? Let me see. Characters are counted as Unicode code points. A single visible grapheme may contain multiple code points. A single code point may contain... Okay. The clipping behavior, that's fine. Oh, get total character count. Okay, that's what we need. Let's see if we have that. Get total character count. Yes. Does not include BB's code. Beautiful. Okay. So if the total character count is greater than the revealed character, then we are still in the process of revealing. And that will be done over here. Basically, we say, hey, if we are revealing, or if you're done revealing, we're not going to do any of these things. And this one gets reset every time visible character becomes 0 or whatever. So we'll have another one that's like afterwards. If we say, hey, if revealing is done after the reveal, then we're going to emit saying that the reveal has been finished. Simple enough. Cooley says, ooh, that's a useful project. Yeah, I think so. I think it's useful for myself as well. I was saying to the people who were here earlier that I actually am working on a product launch. Specifically, it's kind of relevant because we were just talking about money. it's coming very soon. I'm trying to figure out what people want, but I'm launching a beginner friendly course for people who have been struggling launching and finishing their game and have been overwhelmed by either the code or they feel like they're missing this and that. And as part of that, I wanted to launch the template together as part of the course to be like, hey, well, all the people who's joining the course, here's a template. We're going to do the lessons and tutorials with it to make basic game first. And then we're going to have like kind of like classroom TA session of like weekly group session to use ask Q&As, and then have like one-on-one mentorship availability. So basically I'm like trying to launch a paid course for it for a certain group and then evolve that. So this has become part of that as well. Yeah. Chloe says, that sounds exciting. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, it's not for you guys. That product isn't for you guys because most of you guys are already in the industry. You know how to code. You know the beginning part. I guess your only thing that you guys could probably get out of me is accountability, community, and the maybe like design tips, if at all. So, I mean, that's why I feel a little bit more open about sharing this type of news with you guys. Because if you're on this stream, you're just basically, basically a full developer. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much interest level there are. All right, so what do we got? We got the revealing. We updated the dialogue text here, which will be the multi-line, which should directly feed into the text label when this gets updated. Right. Actually, I don't want it to immediately update the text label. I want there to be a setup, which is function, and say clear box, which will empty the text label. Right. Say text label text will equal to empty, and then we're going to say func start or show text, show start text, start revealing. Hey Brainzap says looking good, thank you. You like my new light up setup or lighting setup? Look, I'm very professional now. I think I redid the lighting. Can you tell? Can you tell that I've redone the lighting? It should be more separated. I should look like I'm like way out here versus the background. It's the small things that makes a change, right? Khalees says lighting looks great, thank you. But I have to tell you, I'm working with an agency to launch this program. Well, the fact is they reached out to me. There's a lot of work to be done, I have to say. Like the schedule and everything, it kind of reminds me of working at a company, which is fine. I'm used to it. This is what I got to do. But here we are. Please, wish me luck. Wish me luck. Speaking of, don't forget one of these things that are happening. Hey, Mikori. Perfect. Just in time for me to do advertisement again, Mikori. 99% burnt out, our merch. Go get it. Go get it. We got this pixelated creation shirts and hoodies. We got our little Wizardberry Godot cup. We got our 99% burnt out brand. Look at this. This is a really cool logo. I like this one. I actually like the crop top, but unfortunately I can't wear this. Cute, right? Great. Go get it. All right, that's it. All right, let me think. What's the proper function to start showing the start the dialogue, right? I'll say, I guess, just start is okay. Like to start the animation, I guess. It'll be dialogue text here. Text or visible characters will equal to 0 here. It's going to start revealing, I think. Oh, I kind of want the state instead of revealing being just character difference. You know what? I'm going to change this. Let's make one that says is revealing or is playing, is done, is finished. You know what? I'm going to do is finished here, which is true by default. On start, we're going to say this is false. And on clear, this is true. We're going to stop everything that's happening. We're going to say if it is not finished, or if it is finished, we're going to stop here. And over here, basically, if the text label get total character count is less than equal to the characters revealed, text label, oops, visible characters, then we're going to omit this and also say this is done. Mikuri says, I had another interview today. Wow. Congrats. I hope it went well. Interview, huh? Is for co-op, internship, full-time job, part-time job, between school job? Is it a coding job? What country? Either way, I hope it goes well. Cooley says, don't forget us when you are famous. I don't know. I definitely won't forget you guys. Regardless, I'm sure. I don't think I don't see a way that I can be quote unquote famous in this niche until I expand it to something else, right? I think the most I can do is maybe like, I don't know. We'll see. Now, what I'm saying is certainly there's not going to be enough audience to forget people. Text reveal finished. We're going to do that. Say is finished as part of the thing. We can call start in order for the characters to be revealed. Oh, most important part here. The text speed tag. This is the important part. Okay. This is a additional section on top of the label. The label doesn't understand speed tag like normal, right? Or doesn't know the whole like speed equals normal. So what we're gonna do here is add a parsing for those. So before assigning, I need, oh, this is gonna be interesting. All right. Not notepad. Oh, you know, this has gotten big, or this has become a little bit more complicated than I hoped for. I do wonder how people do the animation thing on Godot, the BB code animation text. Oh, you can add your custom effects. Okay, you know what? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do any calculation. I think I can add my own custom effects. And I can add it without any thing. Let me see how to use these. We're learning all here. Markup. The currently installed custom effects. This is an array of rich text effects. Rich text effect will allow us to parse. Hey, smile. Oh, it's so funny that it makes it so much harder for me to read when you only thing that you changed was I to Y. Hi, smile. Face. Welcome. I don't speak leet code, apparently. The leet speak is my weakness. Clearly. Smellface says, many people can't even pronounce it the first time. You know what? Fortunately, I have learned to sound out my words. No shade to people who can't. It is kind of confusing. It threw me off a little bit. Let's see. Hold on. Just give me a second. Sorry, I'm just replying text. All right. This has gotten a little bit more advanced than I hoped for initially, but I think it's okay. I do want to use custom tag to make sure that the tags are parsed without me having to do anything. So I think that's part of that, the speed tag. So that means I want to add my own rich text effect. So I'm going to add, I don't know how to create a new one though. I guess we could just create a code for it instead of using a half-baked one. We're going to open the documents for this. Anyone out here have used the custom markup on rich text label? Godot, rich text label. I mean, it seems like it's like really good, but it does have a lot of stuff to it. Seems. Custom markup. Markup or effect. Custom effects. It's an array of... Oh, to add custom effect, it's more convenient to use install effect. So rich text effect will be a custom effect for rich text label, which can be loaded in the blah, blah, blah. Sick. Let's see what it does. It's a ref counted. Cool. I'm going to call this a speed effect. Chris says, I hope so too. Sorry, was in class. No, it's okay. Thanks for being here despite being in class. Let's see. I think part of this was I pulled the trigger a little too early. Definitely seems like I should have done this part first. We're going to create a speed text effect, which I guess I should name it something else, honestly. Let's see. Rename this to speed text effect. Class name speed text effect will be rich text effect, which doesn't require me to write anything, but that also means I could come over here and add that as a markup. It's ref counted, so why can't I not add it? We'll see. And then go Text label, install effect, requires an effect, which I suppose I gotta look at the documentation and see what they usually do. My custom effect, which is a string. It's the BB code. Okay, so we need the BB code. If not using class name in the script, that extends. Okay, so I do need a class name though. Let's see. Note, for rich text effect to be usable, BB code tag must be defined as a member variable called BB code. Okay, so you do need to define the BB code, which will be var BB code equals speed. Unless it doesn't require me to do this thing. And then install effect, I can do .new. Or if not using class name in the script, that extends. What if I want to do like effect that has values? We don't need this. Override this method to modify properties in character FX. The method must return true if the character could be transformed successfully. If the method returns false, it'll skip transformation to avoid displaying broken text. Okay, that's okay. Maybe I just use it as a... I suppose I could have that. So I could have value, but how is it going to parse that? It doesn't know how to parse that, does it? It only knows to do that. You know what? I'm just going to do it that way. BB code. I'm going to get rid of this, because I'm just using it as a parser. On the dialog box, we're going to go through each one of them. For speed tag in keys, we're going to install a effect, which will equal to rich text effect new, where its BB code will equal to the speed tag, like so. And that will be installed to the label. I don't want it to do anything. Mikori says, for the interview, even practice using a mock interview by giving Gemini, got a free year from being a student. Oh yeah, that is good. So taking advantage, and they asked like 20% of actual code questions, and the rest was just what I know and my past experience, which I should have seen coming, but I still think it went well. Well, I mean, that is pretty big part, I think. Mikori says, giving Gemini the job description. Yeah, that makes sense. You definitely need to be able to talk about your experience more than the code. Code is like bare minimum. They ask you maybe like, especially as an intern or like the beginning, just out of school. I only care about like 3 questions max to measure, because all I need to measure from you is not like, can you solve a problem? It's more like, do you actually know coding in the sense of like concepts and all these other things? And some of the other things are easily teachable. Okay. Dialog text here. Finish. BB code. So we added a BB code effect. So how does that show up in the text? That's the next question. Right. Okay. So we're going to have to probably grab from the label something about tags, I think. Get character height, width, menu, paragraph count, parsed text. Can we get like the current parse BB code? I want to see. The assignment version of append text clears the text stack and inserts the new content. Terminates the current tag use. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna have to look at how to use custom tag here. Potentially. Let me look at it over here. It's interesting. So you installed it, and then what? The above effect can be installed, yes. Not only do I want to install it, I want to be able to get where these effects are. I guess we can't do that. The assignment version of the pen text. Pop on. Push speech color, push bold. We're gonna have to read this. We're gonna have to read a bunch of stuff here real quick. Context, justify. Tab size text. Text direction threaded, vertical alignment, visible characters. Nothing that gives you okay, never mind. I don't want to use the ones that are already there. This seems a little bit inconvenient. Markup. It may change the text. Ugh, this is so annoying. Okay. We're gonna have to do a paint here, because I'm gonna have to remind myself what I'm gonna do here. So the situation right now is that we have a new tag called speed, right? And this text is what the user has put in, and I'm putting this in the rich text label as just text. And this system, the dbox dialog box, is deciding a reveal, right? Meaning when we parse this out, or we need to somehow say, when we reach this part of the text, we have to change the speed based on this, like so. So I need to pre-process and pre-parse out everything and say, this is where the speed needs to change. Mikori's like, I'm confused. What are we working on? Well, as a big picture, we're working on making templates for Godot, the big Uber template that we're talking about for a long time. I basically put together a project where it has every single plugin slash library that I have been working on recently into a single package that makes sense. And then now I'm going through and making different type of game templates. So this one is a visual novel template, which is basically very dialogue focused stuff. And then as I go through them, if there's any gap, I'm filling it up. And right now the gap is a dialog box logic, which is dialog box that can do different like little speed thing. So I'm trying to add that right now. The function that I'm trying to write is, yes, I am using BB code enabled label, but something that BB code doesn't have is a speed command. So I want to make it so that you can go normal speed here, and then I can go fast speed here, fast text, and that will change while it's revealing. When it gets to that line, it reveals faster. It reveals at a different various speed when it gets to that line. So over here, I do need to parse it first. So I need an array. I do need an array. Pre-parsing of like parsed speed, which will be an array of speed index, a pair, which is a pair. I'm going to have a resource called speed information or text speed tag. And what that's going to do, I should do text speed tag. And this one is simply going to hold on to an information. I mean, it can't be a ref count. It can be a resource. Text speed tag. Simply tag name. And then index, which will be the text index. Location index, I guess. And this could just be any tag. It could be parsed tag or dialog tag. So call this dialog tag here. And I guess this could be initialized. So we could say func init tag name tag and then IDX for index. And that'll just be that. Mikori says, feel like something that you would add to the dialog plugin. I think so. I mean, I do think that it can be added as on top of everything. The truth is, well, we'll see. Mikori, you missed it, but I was saying that I'm working on a course, like a Godot course for beginners / intermediary, to help people go from 0 to hero, where it involves like one-on-one mentorship and like classroom session, like weekly session, and then with like the pre-recorded special like 4-week 5-week course thing to help people get to making and finishing their game. And I wanted to include this using the template as part of the lesson, because it's meant for like people who's really wanting to get started and learn. So at least this iteration. So yeah, that's happening right now. Dialog tag will be here, which will be an empty array. Mikor says, "That's awesome. I like your no." Mikor says, "That's awesome. Like your own Godot classroom, Mr. Ezra." Yeah, exactly. That's the goal. I mean, I gotta make money somehow. But I do think that I have a lot to provide. I mean, I've done little one-on-ones with a few of the viewers so far, which is recorded and pending edit right now. And it seems like there are a lot of things I can provide, so why not? Why not? Okay. So first thing we need to do is we do need to parse the tags out and find the locations for these tags. I'm tempted to use regex. Oh, I think this I use it. Regex new, and then we compile. Yep. So var will be tag regex will equal to regex new. We'll compile a pattern, which is basically this and this, along with any characters within that space as little as possible. Right. This looks right, I think. Escape. I think. I do think that I need to do this. Actual backslash, actual backslash. The parentheses will have a backslash. Yep. Something like that, I think. And so if we run this, I guess we could test this out. Match, or I guess we do string match here. So we can go get the dialog text and match n, the expression. So we'll probably do this on the parse actually. We'll do on the start. Clearbox doesn't do anything on the start. This is where we actually need to do. Parse. Parse for speed tags, which will be this. We're matching n number of things. Oh no, it's just regular match, I guess. I think we might have to do it for each. Compile. Let's take a look at how they do it. Compile result equals. I need to iterate instead of doing it first. Search all. Yes, search all. Let's do search all. Var result will equal to the match, and then we're gonna do, is it a match? Search. Gotta make sure I do this correctly. We're compiling a pattern. We're searching from the text. Okay. So we'll go regex search all from the subject, that is the dialog text itself. And then for results in, or tag results in results. I guess I could call it search results. We can do start, which gives you returns the starting position of the match. within the source string, right? So we can say var shifted count, or indexed shift, which will be 0. And then we're going to say the start is the start of the tag, which will be shifted by the indexed shift. And that will be the resulting location IDX. Right. Returns the starting position of the match within the source string. The starting position of the capturing groups can be retrieved by providing its group number as an integer. The default is 0. That's fine. Search all returns an array of the matches. The region to search within can be specified. That's okay. Not a problem. Oh man, regex is always a bit of a headache because you have to imagine a lot. Okay. So this is the index, and then I can go matched or tag name. Tag name would be whatever's inside the parentheses, right? So we can set that into a group. Will equal to tag result get string group 1. That will be the tag name. And then we're going to shift the index by tag name or get string here. Not trim, but something adds strip edges. Naturally Limo says, hello, how's the game coming? Game has been coming along nicely. Today we're working on tooling. We have been working on a lot of different games and genres throughout the year. And years, actually, for Godot and GDScript, for videos, personal projects. So we are trying to get all those tools and things together into a single project as a template. So we can have a Uber template. And with that, we're trying to create a demo of each genre of game to see if there's any gap. And first gap we found is the dialog box precon. So the features like fast text or like slow text and all those things are missing from here. So I'm trying to implement that, which is proving to be a little bit challenging, which means that it's worth doing. So I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to say tag result get string 0, and then the length of that, I think, is the shift we want to do, because we want resulting text or stripped text will be the dialog text remove or can I say find place, maybe place. And what is a string? Can I match and remove? Nope. I see. Eden Flux. Hi, Eden. Says, hi, what's up? We are doing okay. We're going through and making a dialogue box like we like to do. More specifically, I'm making a little bit more generic dialogue box that uses text-rich label or rich text label, but that rich text label doesn't come with the speed, like the speed tag. So I'm trying to make a customizable speed tag where the speed of the revelation changes line by line depending on the tag. So I'm doing some regex to match the text, find out where the index is, and then go from there. Not only do I want to remove and notice everything, I think we gotta make sure that the tag name matches the speed tag that's specified. So what we're gonna do here is if speed tag has the tag name, we're gonna do this. Eden says, we do tend to circle back to dialogue. Always fun, yeah. The long story short is that we're making an Uber template, so that's why we're revisiting every genre of the game. And all the plugins I have worked on so far. As you can see, this one has our state machine, our dialogue, our deck builder ones. We have the behavior tree GOAP, our dungeon stuff. So yeah, fun stuff. Hey, new house, welcome. Hello, new house. Okay. So, new house says, how's project been going? Project has been going well. A little bit of break here and there. I am doing a lot of different things. Man, I've been saying this for the longest time today. I'm working on a course. I'm working on a course, so I'm making a blueprint / template so I can use it for my course that I sell for beginner / intermediary. It's gonna be beginner first. Yeah, Godot, game dev, 0 to hero, launch your first game course. For people who have been trying to learn but can never seem to launch their game. We're gonna scope it down. But part of that, I'm kind of reviewing all the plugins and tools that I've been developing throughout the year and trying to make a single entity of that. So that's where we're at. Okay. What's the best way to strip the matches? I'm gonna see if the regex has ways to like easily replace. I don't think so. I'm thinking. New House says, didn't know you can see manual inside Godot. Oh yeah, I mean, these are the documentation that are available for all the built-in things. Just like finding a definition of things, you can just hold control and click on either the function or the class name, and then it'll open up the documentation for it. I forgot to zoom in my thing, by the way. Sorry, everyone. You guys must have been looking at a tiny text out here. Didn't say anything. New House says, my slowness still amazes me. Yeah, no, it's okay. We're all learning here. All right, let's think. Index. And then I've done all those detection, and I gotta replace the resulting text, which is the dialogue text here. And then we're going to replace, but we can't do replace here because regex says so. So I want to double work on this one. so we're already looking at all the matches and their indices. So what we can do, we can actually construct a resulting string using the index as a hint. So for example, we can be like var resulting string or parsed string could be just empty string here to start. And every time we have a tag result that we can replace right here, like so, where index shift is the length of the tag itself, we're going to add Eden says, I'm a lark while doing my never-ending obsession of drawing Spider-Punk, lol. Well, at least you're consistent. I do like your Spider-Punk. Do you, I don't know if I've asked you this before, do you play Marvel Rivals by any chance? I'm at a point where I'm like, should I change my game that I play? Because I do enjoy a competitive game because I like getting better at a competitive game. But also Marvel Rivals is not the biggest game out there. So like being good at Marvel Rivals doesn't feel, I don't know if I should feel satisfied by doing that. For example, League of Legends still has more audience and whatever. So I feel like maybe being better at that is better. I don't know. I'm getting good at the game now, but then like if I'm only getting good because there are less people playing, then it's not as satisfying. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Okay. Parse string. So it's going to be just simply a substring of dialog text. We're going to sub that. Starting from the length of the string. I think it's inclusive. Returns part of the string using in length. Yes, from. Yeah, okay. So the size is good. Size of the parse string all the way to the length, which would be okay, hold on. Starting index will equal to this. And then the length, is there any other way to do start and end index instead of doing the, I guess you have to do it this way. Okay. So the length would be the index of this tag minus the starting index. I have a feeling there could be +1 error, but we'll see. Eden says, I do not, haha. I have a mate of mine that does play, but I've very much said if they add a Spider-Punk skin and then they merge Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Punk into Ugly Skin, I think that was them telling I'll never play it. They do have Spider-Punk. Is it ugly? I don't know. I think there's a part of the Spider-Man skin in Marvel Rivals that I thought it looks cool. It's also hard to play. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I see what you mean by 2099. It is like a digital version of Spider-Punk, isn't it? I mean, they always like, what do you call? They always show from which comic book is from. Yeah, Spider-Punk 2099. This one, I don't know where it came from. Oh, from Punk Society. I guess it is Ugly Skin. It's not the grungy Spider-Punk. Like, you know? So I get it. Bagman is pretty fun though. Yeah, the Bagman is fun. I feel like Bagman has more of the identity of the Spider-Punk than the Spider-Punk skin they have, I guess. Let's see. Gotta just make sure our berry farm is going well. Okay, so we're parsing. We're saying parse string. We'll have a substring of that. We're gonna add that. And then we have the resulting location IDX and a tag name, which will be added to the parsed speed. Right, so. And that one is going to take on the our tag, which will be dialogue tag new, and then I will tag the index, which is the second, and then the tag name as part of it, like so, right? Like that. And this is going to collect all the parse tags, and then the parse string will have all those things stripped out, hopefully. And then that will be set as the text. So we'll say parse string. All right, it's time to test if it actually works or not. So what we wanted to do is we have a bunch of text. Color equals green, for example, and have some like other green hello color, and then say fast, like this is a fast text, and then have slow, this is a slow text, and then save this real quick. And on ready, when this is ready, I'm gonna make it so that this doesn't run yet. When I launch this, I wanted to do that, where it does the start logic here real quick. And then I wanted to print out the results. So I want to see print the parsed string to see if it is appropriately parsed. Well, I'll see it actually. I'll be able to see it. Let's take a look. Empty, maybe? Hold on. You know what? I'll just put a breakpoint. Just as good. Parse string is empty. Perfect. I love that. I have a feeling that the regex is not properly compiling, so we'll stop here instead and see if it is properly detecting all the results. Search result is empty. That is probably because the regex is wrong. Trying to set this into a group. Oh, whoops. That's definitely wrong. Okay. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 tags, which makes sense. We're gonna let it run here. Boom, parse string. We got a bunch of text, color green, green, hello. And then it's wrong. The slow is gone, the fast, this is the fast, like all of these is wrong here. I thought the question mark makes it so that it grabs the smallest set of the thing, but I do think that there's oh, I know what this is. I grabbed the substring from the wrong starting index. The starting index should be parse string length plus the indexed shift. Yes. Hold on. Almost. Of texts. Of texts. Okay. Hold on. I got it. Index shift needs to happen afterwards. Newhouse says, is arrays faster than dictionaries to go through in Godot? Going through has no impact. There's no speed difference. Dictionary is only faster when you're getting the key. The grabbing based on, so finding, dictionary is about finding. Map is about finding the key, finding the value of one. In terms of iterating through, going through one at a time, where you have to go through every element anyways, because you're going through every element, they're the same, essentially, give or take. If you have any more specific questions or you don't believe me, we can talk about that further. I'm happy to draw it out if you need me to. Okay, we got part of it. It's this bunch of text, color green, green hello, color is there. This is a fast. That's not quite all of it. Some things are definitely missing here. So what I want to do is I want to see each of this. So the original text here, we are expecting this to stop right here on the fast and then stop right here on the slow. So let's see what that does. All right, first one, we got the tag name called fast. And that one, we have parse string so far of nothing and with no shift. So starting indexed is 0. We're going to grab the substring from 0 to resulting location, which is index 48. Grab. So far we grab all of that beginning part of the text, which is correct, including the enter. Newhouse says, just wondering because making dialog system, I guess dictionary to find different dialog text ID names is more convenient and more clear. Yes. I guess it really depends on what you're talking about. Dictionary is faster and convenient if you are grabbing a very specific ID. In fact, that's what I do for my dialog plugin. When I'm grabbing the, like for example right here, I have the dialog node called start, and then when the prompt splits it into start game and exit game, it goes onto the node called start sequence and exit sequence, right? And it automatically finds where that node is easily because it's dictionary. This one is a little different. What I'm working on right now, this part is I need to process every tag in order. And processing things in order, array is good because array is order sensitive, right? That's why I'm using that in this case. US is like if game has event triggers and they call data GD to look up dialog text based on ID name. Yeah, for lookup is dictionary, right? So right here I have a dictionary for looking up what the tags do, like the text function. Oh, definitely dictionary. You're correct in that. If you're looking up an ID and its function, its configuration, faster. What I'm parsing here is getting these tags that has appeared in the text in order. So it doesn't really matter, I think. Okay. So parse string here, we have that. We're grabbing that. That's okay. The tag itself has a bunch of stuff here. We'll push one tag here. And then the indexed shift is 1 here. That is 6. Yeah. The next one is 48. 69. And then tag name is slow. And then the slow exists. Newhouse says, oh yeah, I used also text typewriter speeds. So not letter appear all at once. Letters appear all at once. Yes, that's exactly what I like to do. I'm making it so that different type speed can happen over here. So the idea is for this one, I'm making it so that the whole text is appearing at a certain speed, which you can configure. But I also want to make it so that different part of the single text, instead of the whole thing being a very specific type speed, I'm trying to make it so that the type speed can change in the middle of the sentence. Because sometimes you want that, right? You want to be like fast, slow, fast, that kind of stuff control. I want to be able to do that just like by writing this. So that's what I'm trying to do here by parsing these tags, allowing that to happen. Technically, I could have just made it into a separate line item, but I think it's okay. Okay, so we got the parse string here, tag, index shift. So we were here, we're saying that the parse string length is all of this, and then we're gonna shift it by 6. Oh, that's right. Okay, I know what's going on. We need one more time. So this is good because what this is doing is it's grabbing all those things. Newhouse says, do you also do embedded commands between texts like speed fast, this text is now fast, speed slow, and we are slow? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to create this where people can customize the tag name to determine what those configuration is. It'll be more obvious once I do it, but basically, essentially, it is that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, is so that it has embedded command meaning embedded tag markup in order to indicate animation speed. Okay, so we have this. We just didn't do the ending part, so I think what we just need to do here at the end, if I don't even need to do if, do I? I just need to do parse string will equal to dialog text substring of a starting index, which would be the shift, and then the length of I guess we can say var remaining text length will equal to actually this minus the, where this is starting. So we'll say text label or dialog text length minus this. So if remaining text is greater than 0, then we want to do this. Newhouse says, yes, that is really fun. Yeah, it is fun. It's we're having a good time here. Okay, almost there. The index shift has not been picked up, it seems. Oop. Okay. So what we're gonna do, let me see. Label text. This is the important part. Index shift is being added. We just found the slow, so we added the shift again. Right. So starting from this should include that. You know what? I'm gonna come over here and do some debugging this way. So initially we're going from 0 to whatever. So we included that. And then next one, we're going from 54 to 69 minus 54, which makes it so that the parse string goes all the way up to this is a fast. Then the new tag has been created, and we created that tag, put it in there. Tag result here is going to have strings called slow here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So index shift will be shifted by 12 now. So we have the parsed string length plus the shift, which is 12. And then we're subtracting that from the total, which is the dialectics length. And that is remaining length of 27. We're trying to subtract that from the substring of this, where starting from this length plus 12. Yeah. From the original text. Yes, that's correct. Or the remaining length of 27 letters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I think the remaining length is what's wrong here. Which, let me think about this real quick. The parse string is everything minus the tagged thing. And we're going to add the index shift to it, which adds 12 to it. Length of the original text should be difference of index shift. That's weird. Hold on. Yeah, it should have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. But it was 27, which is wrong. We're shifting it by 12. That's correct. We're shifting it by 6, 12. Yuha says, I like to do so. Commands got added to separate dictionary as acts, and there was info from which letter index number they begin. And speed info is also was separated for convenience sake, really. Yeah. I know you can have another data structure. I'm trying to be space efficient for no reason. So I'm not creating any more unnecessary data structure. So what I'm doing is I'm doing it in place regex here. I think I'm doing myself disservice, but I have gotten to this far. So I feel like I don't want to like turn right now, because it seems like it's just a matter of shifting properly. I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong. This remaining next length or text length should be 22 instead of 27. And that's the biggest mystery right now for me. Why is it shifted by 13? Yeah, it's weird. Hold on. two tags. We got this dialog, and then we got parse string here, which includes the fast. So only difference between these two should be the difference of remaining text plus the shift. But it's still 27. I find that kind of funny. Let me see. Because it got up to basically this. And then if we subtract this length to this length, how that parse text edited? What do you mean? I'm not really sure which part you're talking about. So I'm adding to the parse string as I'm doing a regex search. So I have a regex, which detects a pattern of tag, right? And then I'm iterating through the search result, which gives us a match of this generic thing. It provides the index of where the search is happening. So if you look over here, you see how on the tag result, the search result, you get these things where basically it puts the group is saying color equals green, color match. And it's going to skip over because it's not one of the speed matches that we're trying to do. Skips. Next one. This one is color slash close color. We don't care about that, so it's going to skip over that. And then this one is fast. So it's going to come over here and say, hey, we're adding this thing. We're going to copy from 0 all the way down to that. So it's copied a bunch of text, color, all the ones that we don't care about is all colored and copied. And then it got added. So parse string has some length here. And then we're making a new dialog tag object because I want to do the text index-based speed detection. So I'm making a tag name and then where in the location they are, which is 48 in this case. So we create a tag. We're putting it into the speed object. So we have 48 here. And then we got to shift everything by the amount of this, which happens to be 6. The get string 1. So basically the way regex works. So this is regex, right? What regex does is that it's a fast, really fast text search algorithm, pattern matching that is well known. And it matches this pattern, and you can create a group, meaning when you match a string, you can subsection that match so that you can extract out different parts of it. The get string 1 is grabbing group 1, which is this inner part. You see how the whole thing matches the square bracket? And I put whatever is inside of the square bracket as group 1. So if I say, hey, give me string 1, it only gives me the content of the tag instead of the whole string. So you could even do like equals blah, blah, blah pattern to be like, this is a tag name and this is a tag value. That's what that does. Okay. And then the group 0 is the whole match. So this part worked. Even this part works right here where it goes, okay, well, the starting index is 54. From there, it's going to copy all the way up to the starting index of the second tag, which is a slow tag. That's why you see this is a fast. We see an enter plus this is a fast, which I think actually part of me thinks that there's a +1 error here. I think we need to do -1 here. Either way, So let me try that again. So parse string has that. And then parse string has this. Oh. I guess it does include the new character return. Hey, Fyra. Hello, hello. Thanks for the raid. Shout out, Fyra. Welcome, everyone. Hope your stream was well. I am doing well. We took a little break. Were you here when I was launching a merch last time? I finished making lunch, or I have a merch now. Good merch for you guys to buy. I'm sure everybody can relate. A brand is called 99% Burnt Out. It's for all the tech workers / workers who are trying to make indie games, basically. We're surviving with 1%. This is a design. We got 99% burnt out, 99% burnt out, 99% burnt out. Along with this other thing. This is my favorite, actually. I kind of like this one. Cozy Rogue MMO Bloodstro RPG. New project. On my 6th super duper awesome game idea. And then we got our little wizard berry. We got the creation. Eden says my 1% is coffee. I think that's a lot of people's 1%. But yeah. So we got that going on. Right now, we're working on our Uber template for Godot. So, you know, I have my dialogue plugin, which is this easy dialogue plugin. I'll take my water break in a bit. I've done, you know, dungeon generation dungeon generation video series. I've done a bunch of other things, behavior tree, state machine. So I've been making a lot of these like toolings and stuff like that outside of just developing games. So I figured I'll put it into a single template, single project that I can copy and paste every time to make whatever game I want. And so basically I just did that. I copied and pasted everything into a single project. And I'm duplicating that project and going through each game genre, well, easy game genre, to see how easy it is to actually make them, plus the gap. What's the gap? And right now, the first gap we landed on, because we were working on a visual novel template, I thought it was going to be a lot easier, is that we don't have a generic dialog box. So I'm trying to make a generic dialog box with a variable type speed that can be embedded within the code itself. So I am right now parsing tags. But yeah, we're living life here. I don't know what you were doing in your stream, but feel free to share with the world what wonderful things you guys are working on. Marco says, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you. Brains Up says, good job. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're living life. Okay, so parse string here. We're probably going to stop. Redo this. Blah, blah, blah. Parse string, this part is correct. One more. This is correct. This is a fast. This is a English. It's not a very good English sentence, but you know, you get the point. Oh, I gotta get water. I'll be back. Okay. Freddy says, chair stream. Yes. Hi, Ezra. Okay. Hi, Freddy. Welcome. We're just coding away, having a good time. One little bug with this one parsing logic right now is struggling to parse that last bit. So I'm trying to see. So, okay. So location index is 69. Where the slow starts, the slow part starts is 69, coincidentally. So this is index 69 right there. I mean, that's what that is. Oh no, that's... Wait a minute. Oh, this index... Hold on. Oh. This is the index based on the... Oh, okay, that's correct. Yes. Then we did it, and we're gonna shift the index by the tag's length, which becomes 12 here. So the remaining text becomes this minus parsed string minus the shift I need to make. And then the new substring we're adding would be length of the string. Starting index was plus index shift. How come just this part is wrong? This is so weird. Freddy says, I'm a fake fan. I don't know the plant lore. Oh. Freddy says, what is that? A Godot berry? I only know Berry Allen. Oh, there are a lot of berries, yeah. We got... Oh, yeah, that is a Godot berry. You got a Godot berry. That is Godot berry. Also, if you use berries command, it should tell you which berries you have, which you can infer what berries you have. It used to be a lot of people's favorite. Godot berries sit animation. So if you do lurk, your berries can sit down. And some berries have special animation, or they look a little different. You can also kick, by the way. You can kick other berries if you can aim. But yeah. Here we are. All right. It makes no sense to me that it doesn't work. But alas, here we are. Zaz. Xzaz. You don't have a berry though. You gotta make your berry. All right. If you're just joining me and you don't know how to get your berries, if you go to the Twitch redemption, there's a two redemption kind. Well, two types of redemption. Plant berry folk seed, and then water berry folk plant. So you gotta plant a seed, which then you get a little plant, and you can water them total of 9 times to get a chance of grabbing one of the available berries, which you can see on the top right corner. There are limited supplies of each berry, which you can add to the pool by opening a booster box redemption. But I mean, right now there's everything available, so you don't really need to do a booster box. And also right now, there's 401 seconds of 10% chance of getting a shiny version because I got raided. Every time I get raided, based on the raid count, I get different number of minutes. Minute per raid, I think, or raider. So right now we have 380 seconds remaining for a chance to get shiny version of whatever you get. So where Freddy, Zaz still needs 6 more watering. Hey, Freddy just got a shiny Godot berry. Can you see? This is a little gold stuff. Yeah, it's nice. That's right. Collect your gachapon. Freddy says, I'm not too great at it, but I hop around and try to watch people at home a lot. I see. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you for being here and participating. Saz says, heck yeah, that's awesome, bro. Thanks, appreciate that. Collect your stuff. All right. The logic is exactly the same, so I don't know why this one in particular is not behaving well. It's annoying. It's definitely annoying. Um, let's get down to it. I'm going to do actual manual counting here. Dialog text here is this. We're going to get the length. Parsed string is this. We're going to get the length, which is this minus that. Index shift currently is 12. And then saying that it's 27 is missing. That's what I don't understand. The starting index here would have still been... What's puzzling to me is if I just added one more text here, let's say very slow, for example. This is a very slow text. It would have worked. Zero says manual counting is a thing still. Doesn't AI do that for us now? Oh my goodness. That's right. You know what? You're right. You're right. We forgot how to use our fingers. That's right. We've left all of that to our AI overlords. Oh, it is wrong. Interesting. Why is that shift wrong? It was right the first time, but it's wrong the second time. Hold on. I'm thinking something... Because if there's no shift, it's just not going to grab the right one. Parse strength, length, plus index shift. Right. Length plus index shift. Is it plus 1 after that? That makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. Freddy says, we don't use a calculator app anymore. ChatGPT, what is 2 plus 2? Yeah, exactly. That is a great question, Freddy. I think it is a very important step into learning and better understanding yourself is to ask basic arithmetic question. And I can really help you with that. To find out what 2 plus 2 is, or something like that, right? Isn't that the meme? All right. I'm kind of annoyed by this real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of this and then just add only one A. Then get rid of all the new lines because I don't know if the new line is impacting this. So we're going to do that. And then come over here. Test out. Smaller number for easier understanding of what's going on. Freddy says, I didn't ask that question, but I agree. What's 9 plus 10? That's a question for the ages. Yeah, I don't know. That you're using too big of a number now. I don't have enough fingers for that. Sorry, Freddy. I can't help you. Unfortunately, my fingers have run out to do that math. New House says, what is -1 times -1? ChatGPT go deep thinking mode. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll know the answer. I mean, it'll know an average answer. You gotta ask more like, what is -1 xpx -1 in math? And it's going to be like, what does xpx mean? It's not going to say, I don't know what xpx means. It's going to be like, oh, it's this. Freddy says, I hate AI for real. I mean, it's useful in some ways. I'm going to admit that it is useful tool if you have the discernment. I think what's problematic for us human is that we like to shortcut so much that we start to not take our precautions at all. Freddie says they fail in basic math a lot of times. I'll catch them, and I'm terrible in math. Of course, this reminds me of GPT sort. What is GPT sort? That's kind of funny, actually. Oh, you know what I heard? I heard something funny where, like, oh yeah, yeah. Have you heard of AI computing? Which I was like, oh my god, that's kind of brilliant, but at the same time, it's kind of stupid. So instead of actually programming things, you show the picture of the website or UI, and then you tell it which buttons you click. You tell them to show me what the result of that interaction is. So you're generating images. Your website is just images and AI predicting what it needs to show based on some terms. It's like so for example, you can play a Bellotro. For example, if you do Bellotro and you do a snapshot of the title screen and you say, I clicked start on Bellotro, show me the image of what happens now. And it'll go to the next page, and then you click on things and you play the game that way. I found that funny, actually. Freddie says, I only use it for what I see as its intended purpose. Yeah. Yeah. No more than that. Thanks for sharing that, McCurry. Zero G Scott says, that feels like mud. I don't know what mud is, but I'm sure it does. I don't doubt it, whatever it is. I just found the whole concept funny. There are a lot of funny things that are happening out here. Okay. I forgot. Well, I'm going through this, okay, guys? All right. Interesting. Yeah. So far, no string, no shift. We come down here. The starting index, yeah, that's okay. So the first thing that it grabbed is A. So it's going to come through. Right now, index shift is 6 because it's 6 character shift. So from the, it's going to be 7, starting point at 7. From the dialog text, it's going to start from the index 7 and then grab 21 minus 7 amount of letters. It's missing 1. Do I just blindly give 1 more? That feels wrong. That feels wrong to just do +1. Because what if I mean, let's see, we'll see. Tomas says the original Doom can be played like that, basically streaming, but low FPS and some jank. Yeah, I mean that's what I heard. I've seen that experiment. I just found that really hilarious. And I think that's like definitely a sure way to. What the heck? Why did it grab? Oh. Okay, +1 definitely grabs extra character that it shouldn't. I think what it's actually doing is that the starting index is wrong for some reason. Just adding and subtracting 1 from a random spot until it works. No, it's not work. Hold on. Let me think about this critically here. So we grabbed this and we said, hey, the length of the grab we just did was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to shift the index by 6, meaning we went from 0 and then we just grabbed 1. Instead of 1, we're going to add 6 to it. So it's going to be 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. this is the character we're looking at, right? So this is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see. That's the problem. So, but at 0 was fine. Because 0 was the first character. I see. I think this... Let me think about this. 0 with length of 1. And then the next one... Blue Fox says, sorry, Ezra, what are we doing today? We're combining all our templates and combining all our tool sets that we've been working on and plugins, and then making different templates for different game genre. Freddie says, what language do you code in? I mean, I'm used to Java because that was my professional experience, but I've worked with C#. For the past 2 years working on Godot, I've only worked with GDScript. Freddie says, Cyborg's code in assembly. And I barely understand English. Blue Fox says, oh yay. Is it oh yay or oh yeah? Because I feel like I told you this earlier, right? McChris says, time to add a parser that finds what are we doing today, and auto does the command. Yeah, exactly. Every time it detects what are we doing today, it just does today automatically. It's okay. You know, I don't have enough people to not be annoyed at repeating myself. I really also don't mind repeating myself. I don't actually understand when people get annoyed by repeating themselves. It's like, dude, just repeat it. It's not that big a deal. But alas, here we are. This is a little bit annoying right now. Okay, so 0 to 1. We start at 0 index and 1. So the next index we need to start from needs to be the length of what's in the parsed minus 1. I think that's what that is. And then we're adding to the index shift. But if the length doesn't have anything, is 0. I just feel like, ugh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to come up with the generic terms. That's why it's like if I just did like minimum min 0 or max 0, then this might solve it. But I don't want to. I really want to come up with a mathematical like generic terms here. Okay. When there's nothing in the parse string, I'm starting from 0. Because that's the length of the parse string. And then it's not shifting by anything. Unless it started at something. Then we're shifting by 6, right? So if I did fast first, if this was the first thing that happened, we found it and it hasn't been shifted. And starting index would be wrong. Interesting. Okay. So it needs to be the starting index plus the shift. Oh, because we're grabbing up to that point. We're grabbing up to that point. 0, 0, starting index is 0, but resulting location index right now would be 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus start index would be 0. So this will end up being 0. So I think that's safe, actually. Yeah, nothing's going to get copied. Except now we're shifting everything by 6, because that's the length of the tag. So if we're shifting it by 6, now our index shift is 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the copy needs to start from this one right here. So we're shifting. So if we're coming back here, we have a new tag. We found very slow here. So we're saying, hey, give me the length of the string, which is 0. And then we're going to shift it by 6 position, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So starting from that index, we're going to grab the resulting location index, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh my god. Wait, what? This is a resulting location index. I need to do this. I think that might be why I was all confused. Tag result. Let's try that out. Sometimes there are a lot of numbers. Sometimes things get a little confusing. This is a fast text. This is a slow text. Is that correct? And then no space. It's gonna escape. Remaining text length is 26 apparently. Okay, it worked. All right, it was that. Oh my goodness. All right, we got the parsing work. For the most part, it was correct. Test color equals green, and then green text color here, and then I'm gonna new line this, new line that, new line that. It's gonna come over here. It's gonna say text label will equal to parse string here, and then blah blah blah. So if we launch this right now, okay, cool. At least I got it to parse correctly and publish everything. Now the next part, now that everything is parsed, is to change the text speed based on the index. So the parsing is done, which is the start, and it's going to start doing all these things. What we need to do is now we need to look at the parsed speed and go from the beginning to the end. I suppose I could even reverse it, but it's whatever. Basically, if the visible character count, right, exceeds, if the visible character count -1 exceeds the index of the parser tag, change the speed. So we'll say, for example, front is what we're looking at, and it's, I guess it's also if parse speed is not empty, and if the parse speed's front element, the speed tag, its location index is less than equal to Should I pop it? If I pop it, it removes that information completely. Instead of popping it, let's track it with the current speed tag IDX. So we'll say starts at 0, and then this will be reset to 0 on start. Right? And basically, current speed tag will equal to this. But that should only happen if it is not empty. And basically, if it is not empty, the current speed tag is being checked. If the current speed tag's location index is less than equal to the label visible characters, -1, then we're going to change speed here. Equals to 1. Like so. We're incrementing it because we found it. And then we're going to set the current speed, which is current speed tag will equal to the speed tag's tag name, which will be used here. Ooh. They have the same name, huh? How about... There you go. Okay. So, that should change the speed, I think. Oh, hold on. Hold up. Starts at 0. Let's take a look. I want to see it hit that part. It's not. It's not. Parse speed. Let's see. Parse speed. First item, location index is 37. And currently, the text label reveal count, visible characters, is 32. 32 versus... $37. Okay. It seems like I didn't subtract the index shift correctly. That is right here when I'm creating the tag. I say resulting location index will be where we found it minus the shift. Wait, that's correct though. I guess initially it didn't. I mean, that's kind of correct. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, okay. I see what it is. I see what's going on. Because of the other tags, like the color tags and stuff like that, that is being part of the calculation here. So actually the resulting location index actually needs to include every single tag length it detects, as instead of just the index shift. Unfortunately, oh, that's going to be pain in the butt. Because this one is index shift for copying and pasting. And we need a index shift for... Okay. That's not a problem. It's just one more variable that is separate. I should call this total tag shift, which will be right here. And total tag shift will basically increment for every single result. And that will give more accurate result for that one. How come fast is slower? I guess the default speed is pretty slow. Default is normal here, and fast became 8.0, which is slower for some reason. So let me take a look at the speed here. It is varying now. It's changing speed appropriately. I just need to make sure that the speed it changes to is processed correctly. Seconds per letter. Current speed tag. By default is 0.5. Should be 5.0 actually, instead of 0.5. So we'll do 5.0 here. And I want to see it change here. Okay, well, actually. Oh, is it not changing? It is changing. So we're on slow here. And for slow is 2. So we're going to try to get the slow, which will be 2.0. And that's... Wait, what? 1/2 shouldn't be 2. Very slow is 0.5. Oh, okay, that's correct. 2 seconds per letter. Wait, why are we already on very slow though? We're already down here. Weird. Okay, hold on.